All right, so a long time ago, I find myself um, playing a very good friend of mine in Mexico. He was a very well ranked. He was very well ranked in juniors. Um, he was a very good player. He was well ranked in the pro tour in Mexico, and he was very well ranked when we went to the same university um, in San Antonio. He was very well ranked at the university level. So he's a good player. I had never played him, and we're playing the professional tour in this place in Mexico. So I'm thinking we go to three sets. If you don't know in tennis terms, when you go to three sets, that just means that it's a pretty tight match. So he's a good player. He has all this history behind him. You know, the background and everything. Being one of the top juniors, being one of the good players on the professional tour, and in my head, I start having those ideas like, okay, so the easiest thing is when you can go. It's not that hard. Well, no, it's not that hard, but you can have a good day, and you can keep it up with someone that is good at something. But the real difficult thing is deciding your mind to say, okay, I can beat this person, I can do it better. I mean, we're talking about anything. I can make this project, I can finish this project, I can get to talk to this person, whatever it is. So we're going to a third set, and in my head I'm just thinking, all right, I had those self limitations that say you have never beaten a guy this good. This is a guy that has he has ATP international points in singles and doubles, and I'm thinking, can I beat this guy? Can I really keep it up on a third set, and still having that mindset that I wanna keep putting that fight. So that's those self limitations that kind of ask me, okay, so what are you willing to do? How much are you willing to commit in order to do this thing that you want to do? That is something that all of a sudden came to my head, and I had never really looked at it from that perspective. Like, what am I willing to put out there? How much are you committing to chase your goal, even especially when things don't go well? Long story short, I ended up losing 7-6 that set. I lost by 2 points, 9-7 on the tiebreak. I'm just, to make it easy to understand, 2 points were the only difference in the entire game. More than we played for close to 3 hours in a place in Mexico, in Tampico, which was really hot. It's by the ocean, really humid, but I was very happy, because I kind of felt, like I sent a message to myself that I can play, and I can really get to the level of these guys. But again, the important thing here was that I had those self limitations, and I had to. In the past, I would have never even thought that I could take this guy to 3 sets. I would have never even thought that I could play a guy of this caliber and say, growing up seeing him as the best player, as a guy that has a good national ranking. I mean, you just think like, I'm even out of his league. I'm in the national ranking. I'm trying to go up in the ranking, but this guy is way ahead of me. But you play that person, and that's when you start thinking, you know what, you have to forget. In tennis, you pretty much have to forget the guy on the other side of the court. In life, you have to forget pretty much. It's like thinking in life is like you have to forget the how things can go wrong, and you just take care of what's happening on your side of the court. Okay, it's like you're playing soccer and you have the ball. You have control of it, and you say, okay, I'm gonna try to score, but what if I can't? What if I miss? What if I go wide? What if I go to the one side or the other? Or what if I go straight to the goalkeeper? You just do what you can. You gotta focus on what you're gonna do. You gotta focus on your plan, and you try to execute. And whatever happens, you just learn from that. But that self language, that self limitation that I had, is something that I truly believe. I was happy that I put up such a good fight, but I still, to this day, I think the self limitation can bring you, if you know how to transcend that and move through it and just push forward, you can really improve on anything you're doing. And even though I did, still that little bit of self-limitation that I had in my mind by the end of that match was the thing that made the difference. That cost 2 points. 2 points was enough. And that's and sometimes those 2 points, that was enough for him to win, that was enough for me to lose. That's how important things are. That's how important it is to hang in there. And that's one thing that I always explain, especially to the little kids, to the juniors that I train, is the only thing you have to keep in your mind when things are not going well is just keep out all the voices in your head that are telling you that you can't, and you just hang in there. You just keep pushing, you just keep fighting. You just keep pushing, you just keep fighting. Sometimes it's not gonna be enough. There are gonna be times when it's going to be enough. I had matches where I kept doing that, were really tight, went to 3 sets, and I ended up winning. What's such my mentality that about those self limitations, I think, that it even creates things in your head that don't even exist. So this is really serious. The self limitation thing is something that we need to pay attention to it. We need to pay attention to the self-language. We need to pay attention how it shows. Sometimes it's the way we talk to ourselves. Sometimes it's the way we react. Sometimes you can notice it on the way you talk, on the way you move, on the way you feel, on the way you think, on the way you get the emotions, on the way you perceive things, on the way you translate what you're listening and goes through your head, and you filter all that stuff. So we need to be aware of those things and really try to work it out to move through it, which is something that nobody's gonna give you like a real formula to say this is how it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen quick, and it's never gonna fail. You know that I think that everyone that tells you this is something that's gonna happen quick and easy is just bullshit. Plain, just turn around and run, because real things that are gonna make you change, things that are really gonna make a difference in your persona, in your character, in the way you think, and the way you feel things, and the way you process things, they're not easy, and they're not and they don't happen quickly. So just remember that try to check for your self limitations, how that starts, how it finds a stimuli in anything that you see, anything that you say, anything that you think, anything that someone else's think, or something that you read. Where does it find a stimuli to start kind of grabbing you like an octopus, in different ways, with 8 arms, in the way you talk to yourself, in the way you see yourself, in your self-perception, and all those things. React to it and just push. When you don't know what to do, just keep pushing. Sometimes you don't even have to believe that it can happen, but you just don't stop pushing. That's the one thing that it shouldn't be conditional ever. The effort. That's what I tell my kids. Effort is never conditional. So you just got to keep on pushing, and that is many stories around in the world, in all the fields. That is the only main thing that guys that actually made it say, I have no faith, I have no hope at all that this is going to happen. But I just say, well, if it's not going to happen, at least I'm not going to give it away just like that. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep trying. And well, it turns out that, well, they didn't know that when you're pushing, you're actually taking the possibility that it can go your way, and it happens. All right. Okay, guys, I hope you like it. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thank you.